All right. So the big thing is creating team culture. And what I've started to do, and I used to be really shy about this, but the more I've listened to different advice and different just instruction from other coaches who do really well with creating coaches and creating a team, is basically just signing up everybody as a coach. Hold on. Okay, so and what I don't phrase it that way. So I wanted to go over all my different tips, and it's really been working well because I've just simplified it. And what helps, and I mean, actually, Jessica and Aisha, you guys are like really good examples of this. I've mentioned coaching to them in the past and how it works, but in my mind, they kind of signed up as a challenger, but with the thought of potentially maybe doing something with it in the future. But having that available is really powerful. So what I found is that when people are signing up as a coach for a more sustainable situation, like they're not signing up for a quick fix. So if you have a legitimate conversation with them, it's basically like going from a 30-day quick fix, get in the door person to somebody who's serious about doing challenge group after challenge group. And I'll tell you how I phrase that. So to me, it's like the proof is in the pudding. When people are joining as coaches, as in like just even for the discount, they're already saying, I want to continue to do products. I want to continue to be on Shakeology. I want to continue to be involved in your groups. And they're just much more likely for success and for results and for involvement. So in my mind, it's like I might be doing them a disservice by giving them the easy, quick 30-day option. So just something to think about. And then what I found is that people just really elevate to their surroundings. So if they are joining the community and they have like the team page already, they have access to the team page, even if they have no desire to ever be a coach, just the sprinkling of what they see in the team page is going to really affect them. Something that I found, just even having people join you in terms of your challenge groups or as your team, is that they want to join a community. And the moment I started changing from me and I and all about me basically to our and team and us and hashtag team lettuce, the more people just started to equate me with the team. And like the team is me and I am the team. Like it's just not that I don't have an identity, but it's so ingrained with having a community. And if you look at like, if you guys are familiar with Tone It Up, anybody familiar with Tone It Up girls? No. I'm like a weird stalker. I love following different fitness trainers, but they had a TV show, which I love reality television shows, but they had a TV show and then they were actually Oakley ambassadors when I was involved with Oakley. And they were really good at creating a community. And what they did right is something that I've naturally done or copied them, I'm not sure, but they create Tone It Up girls. So there's these two trainers, they're called Karina and Katrina, and it could be all about them and they're like really hot and they're in bikinis and they're just from California and they're gorgeous, so that doesn't hurt. But what they've done to not have that be an obstacle where they're unrelatable is they feature a Tone It Up girl in their newsletter every week, like a transformation story. So what I found when I started doing Monday, like Team Lettuce Challenge before and afters or transformation stories from coaches, that is something that showed it wasn't just me having results. Because if all they see is your before and afters, and I don't think any of you are like stuck in that mode, but a lot of us, eventually you'll get to a point where you're posting videos of yourself constantly and pictures of yourself constantly, but people need to see that you're effective, not only at helping yourself, but other people. And so I just found every Monday, if I could empower somebody, or every Tuesday, I try to once a week, like empower and leverage something like that. So I'm showing how we as a team help. So that's something that I know communities do. And if you look around, if you follow different personal trainers, there's a big difference between the personal trainers, or like, if I should say like celebrity fitness trainers. So people who have communities and people who don't. And I'll try to post them so you guys can see, but there's another really popular, Emily Schromm. She was on reality television again. I'm sensing a theme here, but she has a superhero challenge. So she's kind of branded herself not just as Emily is this all-star. It's more, hey, you can be a superhero. Everyone's a superhero. Let me find the superhero in you. And she's got a challenge. And she's all about empowering those people that she works with. Marie for Leo, she has like the B School Babes. For the longest time, she kind of had like little follower communities. And so people just want to join a community, a team. And I guess before I go into kind of what I do, I think to help create that team culture, do we have any questions? Is that all making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just good to know why that's empowering. Like, you know, you could say, okay, well, it's still self-serving because you're creating, you know, coaches, which is what you're signing up. But I really look, if I didn't see the benefit of signing people up as coaches first, one, because it's just simpler to convert them if they ever are interested. So it's kind of annoying to, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, to change a customer to a coach. You can do it, but it's annoying. There's like 10 steps and it's just a lot of emailing and walking them through. And then if you know this person, like, I want to give them a sustainable chance and take a little bit more time with them and talking to them and having questions and a conversation, then it can be worth it. So here's what I started. It was literally creating a team name. So, and playing off your branding or whatever that is. So, you know, it might be way ahead for you if you're still figuring things out, but the sooner I had a team name and created a culture, the sooner I could start sharing all of that. And you'd be surprised, like, if hashtagging it and putting it out there, people will be like, tell me more about your team, and, you know, all of that. So I would say start with creating a team name, and then, or know just start brainstorming what you think your team should stand for. Like, there's something you want to accomplish, but what would you want to accomplish with people who join your challenge groups and people who join your team? So creating a mission statement, it's something that Dave Ramsey, I would listen to his EntreLeadership stuff, and it's all about knowing your vision, knowing your goal, knowing your purpose. And when you look at that from a team perspective, it's actually way more powerful, and it still aligns with what you want to do individually, but it's pretty cool to write it out in a team fashion. I talked about the we, ours, us. So like when you start finding yourself saying I and me, just start changing that phrasing to we and us and our, and you'd be surprised. And if you're finding like hesitancy with how to do that, know that you are a part of a team. You're a part of this. And I see Aisha already doing Team Lettuce and all that stuff, which I love. And then as you grow your own team, you can start to like phase out Team Lettuce, or you can have both. Like, I'll still give props to my team, Spartan Nation, not as much, but they kind of call it roots and wings. So you've got your roots to your team that you've really aligned with, but then you just have your wings to create your own. And there's a nice segue to where you can start, like, and I can help you guys with that to segue into that. Another thing that I try to do as much as possible is, even if it's virtual, like let's say Aisha, it's you and Katie, you guys do a good job of like talking about workout buddies, and even that's a community. So it's like, even if it's a class that you go to or a FaceTime chat that you have with a challenger, whether it's 1 or 10, right? So taking pictures of you working with people, screenshots, videos, that kind of thing. It's just, I'm like, how can I create the fact that I do talk to people through our Zoom chats? Like, it's not very sexy to post our Zoom chat, but I think people really see that it's a lot more than just me, and there's a lot of people that are doing this. When I actually get to the point, which I think is kind of like an important part, how do you have that conversation with people? And so I'll show you what I've been doing lately. And an easy segue is just being, when you're talking to them about things, like, well, there is an option for a discount membership provided you join the Team Lettuce community, if you're interested in joining the Team Lettuce community. Or I'm like, have you considered becoming a member of Team Lettuce? And this is as a result of like really creating that branding, like hashtag Team Lettuce. And I've had people literally message me about the challenge groups saying, I want to find out more about how to join Team Lettuce. And I think that's really cool because they don't know what the hell that is. They don't know what a challenge group is. They don't know what coaching is, but they say, I want to join something about it. Like, I want to know what they actually get out of it. But I would imagine it's support, community, accountability, positivity, friendship, somebody who's got their back. Like, they just, whatever it means to them is what they're looking for. And you can resonate that by all of your posts. And again, that's what I've done. All of my posts, and then I'll hashtag Team Lettuce. Any questions? I feel like I'm talking a lot. I'll show you guys can you guys see everything? Can you guys see my screen or no? Anybody?
No.
Okay, hold on. It's getting there.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. I'm like the worst. I have a million tabs. Sorry. It's coming. Ugh. I used to have a lot of insecurities about this, but I'm just finding it a lot simpler than I originally made it out to be. And I think it was the coach, like those coach calls, basically the girl was like, do you want to hear about our regular membership or our team membership or our team discount? And you can find the phrasing you feel comfortable and excited to use. But again, because I've talked so much about Team Lettuce in the past, I feel really comfortable saying, have I talked to you about what it means to join Team Lettuce, or like catchphrases like community and team, and I think using the community is kind of cool word. All right, sorry, it's taking forever, guys. Has anyone done this yet where they're talking about joining your team as a challenger or tried it out that way? No? Not yet. And how could you really know? Because I really haven't been sharing that with you guys as much either. All right. I really need a new computer. Okay. So here's how I outline it. I kind of do step by step. And I've mentioned this one, I've not even said necessarily given an option. I'm just like, okay, great. Maybe I have. I'm trying to think. But I can share this with you guys. I just kind of outline it. Okay, this is somebody saying, yes, I want to move forward. And okay, to move forward, click coach and become a coach, which allows you to join as a Team Lettuce member and have the best savings. No pressure, sales, or commitments needed. It truly is the most affordable and sustainable way to get results. Select the Hammer and Chisel Challenge Pack and Shakeology Flavor Combo. This waives any sign-up fee they talk about. So I try to address the questions that I've gotten in the past. Proceed with the 180 option. Moving forward, it will only be $15 a month to have 25% savings on any product, including Shakeology, bringing Shakeology to 106-ish, and you can get access to challenge groups, my coaching, and the community of Team Lettuce. So that's been a big thing, is saying you're going to have lifetime access to challenge groups. The discount, which, we haven't even tapped into, like this is just things I'll say in messages. We haven't tapped into pre-workout or continued programs that come out, or, there's just a lot. You're like, there's a lot that we haven't even touched, and a lot of people have continued success with more products and the community of Team Lettuce. And this is a big thing other coaches will do. There's a 30-day back money guarantee, and you can cancel at any point, but I doubt we'll need to worry about that because we're going to get you to your goals. And so that's what I've been sending people, and they're like, okay, great. Are you sure there's no commitments or things I need to do to be a coach? And I just talk about, no, not at all. Not unless it's something you want to do and you want to refer your friends to cover your Shakeology, or create this as a hobby or a business. It's really up to you. And they're like, okay, great. So hopefully, this is just something that I would recommend in terms of sustainable help for these people. And there's plenty of coaches I have that don't necessarily do anything with the business, but they feel like they do have the reality is what I feel good about is I could be charging hundreds of dollars to be a personal trainer, or, my time is valuable, but if you're a coach, you get first dibs. Like if you're going to message me, I'll message you back right away. And so to convey that type of special attention you'd give somebody who joins your team or your community, that is even powerful. Let me think of what else. But yeah, so who has questions? That's kind of what I wanted to touch on. And is anybody uncomfortable with this? You guys can talk.
This is just from kind of what we talked about yesterday, Maria. This is super helpful. I'm just starting and kind of trying to figure it all out. So having something like when people ask you about it, having it kind of laid out step by step. I remember when you did that for me was super helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Good. And then maybe if you guys, I think Aisha and Jessica would be a really good example. Jessica, maybe you can start do you remember why you signed up? And because I know you're still checking it out as a challenger, but if you could share with us your perspective on how I approached it and what you wanted to get out of it.
Yeah, I think, initially I was looking for other things in terms of workouts and in terms of health-wise, something to, I was making a lot of my own smoothies, but I was looking for something else, and this just kind of Shakeology just kind of seemed to be almost perfect when you had talked about it. And then the fact, I thought it was just Shakeology. So then when I learned and you told me there was, options to do all these, or opportunities to do all these different things on demand and all this stuff, it just got me much more interested, especially as I'm now, just kind of looking to try a bunch of different things so that I don't kind of become complacent. And then hopefully, as you portray it so well, it just looks like so fun. And I already was doing kind of this stuff. So I was like, why not kind of, do it like this way. So
cool.
Yeah.
See how it just half the time they don't even know what they're signing up for. They just have a feeling. And if you can exude that through your posts and through your wording, and you guys are all doing that, it's just a matter of portraying that you not only are inviting people to be their best selves, but to this community. But yeah, how about you, Aisha?
I don't know. I think I feel kind of similar to Jess, but I was just really kind of feeling lonely. I was doing my workouts and I was bored, and I was losing a lot of motivation. So the idea of a team was really what appealed to me. Mm-hmm. And similarly, kind of had no idea what I was getting myself into. And throughout the winter, doing Insanity, I think, was really what changed it for me, was start to finish doing a program and feeling that accomplishment. And then also sharing that through social media and having such a positive response. I was like, okay, I guess I actually have something that I can share with people. Mm-hmm. And I think that's, I don't know, you just said you could be a personal trainer and you could be charging people a ton of money, your time is valuable. And I think that's something that needs to shift in me, because I feel I do have something valuable to share, but I'm not presenting it in a confident way. I think I'm kind of yeah, I do Beachbody programs and whatever, but they're awesome and I'm doing it for a reason. And so I think I don't know, that just really clicked, having the confidence to be this is something that is valuable and worth your time. It's not just something that I'm doing and I'm just sharing out there so you can see it.
Right. Just for likes or
Yeah, no, that it's not just about getting likes on social media. It's about I'm doing something that changed my life and made me the post-grad athlete, still feel I was belonging to something and having a purpose to my workouts and having a purpose to my day. And that has a huge ton of value. I think a lot of people are just sort of like floating along, and
That's so true.
yeah.
That's a really good point.
That's awesome. That's so good. Yeah. I mean, and you don't know it necessarily, and you're just kind of listening to your gut and what you're craving. And I think a lot of, like you said, a lot of people are doing that. And even just eventually you can get to the point where you're like, I mean, I'd like to post more about this eventually. I'm sure I will, if not soon, if not tomorrow. But if you can start to say, I mean, like, it's so hard because I don't want to dog my work, but I don't have a lot in common with my coworkers, besides the fact that they're cool and they work at Angie's List, but they don't have the same hobbies or personalities or eating patterns. And like you talk about being lonely, like I literally have to like, there's certain people that will go across the street or downstairs to grab a salad or pack their lunch, and everyone else goes out to eat and does certain things that I just don't do. And I love the concept of creating a job or a passionate hobby for whoever, but for me, it's my longtime career. I want to be working with people I want to work with. And I was telling that to Jess, like we FaceTimed on Sunday. Like I want to have people on my team that I do not dread getting on a team call at 9:00 on a Monday night, you know, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and just putting it out there and figuring out how to do that. I mean, you can see how other coaches are doing it, but just the cool thing. So what I was going to say is like screenshotting the Zoom calls. What's really powerful, and this is why I always talk about like Summit or the live events or Super Saturdays, is even if it's not like the crazy, like you could get FOMO, right? Like there's Indianapolis Super Saturdays, and we weren't always this way. I mean, we've started off in like tiny rooms and all that, but it got to a point where Shaun T was coming and all this excitement. But Julie's worked really, really hard for that because she's created that compound effect of a community that's grown into a crazy, you know, cult or whatever that people feel like it is. But that started with a living room. And so you can do that. You can have people over and hashtag your team. It can be a healthy, like literally we got together for birthdays, and this was like Kayla, Miranda, Amanda, people that would never be friends. I mean, who knows, but never really be friends unless they met through the team. And you can create that environment where people create lasting friendships that extend beyond just, you know, getting fit and healthy. So the live events are something that if you don't have access to them, that's kind of why, like Mandy's like, I'm going to Summit and those things. And they are investments and they are commitment, and it's tough. And but it's amazing kind of what happens out of it. And just like me, I mean, I have a hard time telling you guys to become coaches right away, but just like I have a hard time telling you to go to Summit or go to Platinum Edge, and these are just words, but Super Saturdays. But to be honest, the more I tell you the truth, it's like the sooner you go to those things and the sooner you have that in-person touch, which I'm sure you can imagine, along with this, it's just going to be like game over. So the sooner you can come to those things or create that for yourself, the sooner you'll feel that like that heart string that you feel right now, like that little edge of it, you'll feel like your heart will explode when you're like with everybody. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover. I can send the conversations and how I phase it in, but I just really make it no big deal. And if you don't make it a big deal, I remember Marie for Leo has really good videos like, I keep attracting this drama, or I keep attracting doubt, or I keep attracting da-da-da. And it's like, well, do you doubt yourself, or are you dramatic? You know, it's like, I hate girls that are dramatic, but then you're being dramatic about that. So the bigger of a deal you make signing up somebody being a coach, they're going to be like, wait. But if you're like, yeah, it's whatever, it's the best way to do it. And it's especially like there's coaches that's all they do. And I'm moving towards that. And then that's all you do. And it's no big deal. So let's see. Caitlin or Valerie, I know you guys have been doing this a while. What are your thoughts?
Well, I totally agree with the culture that you've created. I mean, you're the reason why I come to these team calls every single week. I can count on one hand in a year and almost a half how many I've missed. I just get so much information out of them, and I feel like when you have this live connection, it's vital to have a successful business and to be able to reach out to, and make connections to others. I've only been to 2 Super Saturdays. One was here in the Quad Cities and the other was down in Indy. And nothing was like the one in Indy. I mean, it's so much bigger. It was with Tony Horton, and I mean, it was just spectacular. But I do agree that the live events are necessary. One of my struggles right now that I'm have found myself in is coming up with a team name that embodies everything that I'm all about. I think I have it, but I have a question about it. I've done some searching online to see if there are any others out there, and the one that I think I've found is Team Sweat Confidence, because I'm a super confident person, and I love to attract that type of person. And we're all about working out and getting healthy and sweating it out. So there is one that's very similar, Sweat into Confidence. What are your thoughts on getting something that's too close? The other one, from my understanding, is they're not a big team at all. I think she just like signed up in January and just like the next day came up with her name and all that kind of stuff. And that's it. I've done some stalking on this girl.
That's fair that you did that. The hard part is, does Beachbody have a policy about team names at all?
I don't know. I haven't found anything on it, but I don't want to have the same as someone that is going to be, totally different. Like Team Lettuce, there isn't one out there.
I don't know.
I mean, straight up, there's not.
Yeah, like that's what it's like hard, because it's not something that's Beachbody isn't making you trademark your team name or register your team name, but you almost wish they did, so that it's like clear and taken.
Right.
And then if it's like a domain name where like, well, hey, I've got way more people and I'm willing to pay for the team name.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they have to go that way eventually. But to my knowledge, there's nothing, like if they haven't LLC'd it or anything like that, then like you could be Sweat Confidence, the company, and then you could be Sweat Confidence, the team, and you can do legal things I haven't done that. I need to. But that's something that you can look into. But unless they have it, I wish I had more information about that. I don't blame you. That's good. You got to do research. Yeah, it's tough, especially as now it's a little bit later in the game, and
there are thousands and thousands of teams. I mean, it's hard to do that. Another thing too, and I'm creating pages and things like that. I have my personal page, which I do most of my business on. I have, and then I also have my like page that just is simply Coach Valerie Vincent. I could change that to Team Confidence, but I was wondering, would I have a third one for my coaches specifically?
Do you have
do I have a challenge group going?
I mean, do you have like a team group, like what we have for Team Lettuce?
I don't.
Okay.
I have my personal page, and then I have my like page that is just, fitness articles and, my upcoming challenge groups and things like that. And then I'm thinking of creating another page for just my coaches. I have 15 under me right now, and I just didn't know exactly.
Yeah. I'm sure there's people that do that. Like the community is literally a like page. I put it into groups just so that's just the way I've always thought of it. And that's what Julie does. But, I just think the simpler you can make it, like if your like page resonates team culture, like just to me, it shouldn't even be separated. Like, I just want everyone to know that I'm a company, but I'm more so about the team than anything. So I just try to, if I can, like just mix in my individual posts with my team posts on the like page. Cause it's just, to me, they're together. To me, it's the same thing.
So okay. You don't run any business stuff on your personal page?
I do. So what do you mean? Like you have your like page for are you saying, what was your question? Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry. I have my personal page that I started like, I want to say maybe like 2008 or something like that, that I've continued to build into my business, where I've, that's my 3 posts a day,
Right.
minimum, workouts, my upcoming challenge groups. I promote on there, but I also talk about my family. I don't want my family stuff to go into like a like page where everybody and their brother can see pictures of my children. I don't want that necessarily either. So I do have my like page that I don't post on it a whole lot. It is my, articles that I find, my upcoming groups, promotions, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I don't know, do I form another one just for Team Sweat Confidence?
I don't think depends on if you're realistically going to like promote the heck out of it. Are you going to put 3 posts a day? I mean, it's just like kind of like
how that would be a place like where I would put my coaches. Like you have Team Lettuce.
I would do a group.
Didn't Shailene do a part on this when we were at Platinum Edge? Didn't she do a talk on this about having about too many pages, too many places, then it gets lost in translation? Almost like her talking multitasking, like going too far. Like I think she put at one point. I think she even said just taking a couple different places and just rolling with that and putting all your energy and everything into that one thing and kind of going from there, right? Or am I confusing?
Yeah, like I have no energy to put into a different website for you guys. Like I just think it just needs to be clear that Valerie Vincent equals Sweat Confidence equals team Sweat Confidence. Like they just all go together. That's just what's worked for me. And I think that's what most coaches do. And there's a reason, unless like the only time you'd want to do that is if you think people are going to latch on to Sweat Confidence more than they would you as an individual. But I think if you mix it all together, then that's because you might have people like typing in sweat, confidence, whatever. And then your team page comes up and then that's cool. But I don't know. I would just do it all on one because you're already using your personal, and then just portraying team culture. Like, cause you need to get people like, hey, I'm a leader. I'm Valerie Vincent, like, cause you are your brand, but how else can you portray both? I just do both on 2 accounts, just culture, team, individual, challenge groups. It's all, there's no clear-cut divisions. But when I'm having my group, Team Lettuce is in a group, like a little, like a group, like a challenge group. Have you heard that?
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
So I like the Team Lettuce group because I feel like it's not all about like Maria. Like it's kind of like a forum for everyone to post things and everyone to like ask questions or post success, or like as a new coach coming in and being like, okay, I'm part of this group. It's not like Maria's page where like I can find information. I think it's like more of like a conversation type thing. Whereas like another page, it would just be sort of confusing what the difference is between that and your like page. And unless you're having like very clear conversations with your coaches, I think it would get muddled. And like if you want to keep adding coaches, or if they want to start doing more like leadership things on their own, it would be clearer of how to do that in a group, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And I really like how even when I'm on my laptop, on the left-hand side, and it has your groups, my most frequently visited are, say the top 5, and Team Lettuce is there. I can easily click on it. It's easy access to it.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so that's for sure. And yeah, it is cool. And there's times where like I accidentally post in that group instead of my challenge group, and it's kind of cool because then you see people act like they think, oh yeah, like I should post my weight loss here, and my, it's like it doesn't.
I was wondering if that was on purpose.
I was like, oh, whoops. But yeah, but it's funny because your team it's not like the coaches ever stop being challengers. And that's another thing. I forget who did the team call, or Michael Folsom does a lot. She's like, and Maggie and I have talked about this because Maggie deals with being a fitness professional and has been literally in that industry and in leadership positions. Julie's dealt with it. Like, how do people see themselves in me if I'm coming off like an expert? But she wanted to see, she's like, let me just go into your challenge group and see what you're doing, because I could learn a thing or two. I'm sure it's been a long time. And so she jumped into the challenge group and she saw that we're literally just taking pictures, and like, I'm doing exactly what the challengers are doing. And I have to, like, they're helping me step it up because I got to continue to deliver just posts. But what I've done is, one, it helps me survive, like just keeping it simple and posting those things. But there's something to be said for making it empowering them. So you, like, if I talk to Aisha, I'm like, your posts are way better than mine, which is the truth. Like, you can do this. Like, you don't need me. I've built this business and I'm far from detailed and perfect and an expert. So this is something you can do. And that's what another coach portrayed, is like, be a challenger, never not be a challenger, even though you're a coach. And I found the more I just do it with them, versus like leading discussion and being that whole thing, it's an interesting transition to us, even in your challenge groups, us, you, like, how are you doing? I don't know. It's cool to see the transition of people being like, I can do this. And I think if I had posted a ton of content and made it really fancy, that's when people start to bring up objections. And Maggie was noticing that, where they didn't think they'd have time, or they didn't think that they could be like her, or they didn't want to go that route. A lot more resistance. So that is, one, it's less work, and two, it's you have to be, just hold yourself back from controlling it and being perfect. And even though you get better and better, it's kind of like the seniority bell curve, where like the more involved you are and the longer you've been doing something, the less people start to tune you out, because you just know so much. And it's a big thing in sales, like dumb, new, kind of like fresh people sell really well, because they're not like talking about things they don't need to talk about. I don't know. So that's something too. Does that help, Valerie? Okay.
Definitely, yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Think of other stuff. But yeah, I would say the big things is just, think of a team name. I know it's a lot of pressure, but just start. And even then, if you want, you can rely on, like, in the interim, you can use Team Lettuce and whatever. Like, you can kind of ride those waves until you, like, again, roots and wings. And then, but the sooner you can start creating your culture, like, and the truth is, like, selfishly, I want you guys all hashtagging Team Lettuce, like short-term selfishness, but then long-term selfishness, I want you guys to absolutely create your team and just separate. Like, if I don't hear from you very often, except for our team calls, but you're doing everything you ever were doing with me, but just without me, then I'm doing my job correctly. So it's never too early to start cutting the cord, as hard as that is for me. Mandy, what do you think about this kind of stuff? You're doing so good with your challenge packs and inviting people, and what's been working for you?
Yeah, well, I do talk about the team culture a lot and how inspiring, and it just keeps me motivated knowing that there's others going through the same, and that's kind of what I've been playing off of when I talk to people. Actually had someone reach out to me today asking about the Shakeology, and that was the first, because I've not had someone reach out and ask me about it.
Hey.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's fun working with Rhonda. I hope that I can, because I don't want to say that she's not going to be successful, but she doesn't like to work out, but she likes Shakeology, so.
Well, there is a coach, Chris Reed. I know he's a guy, but he is a SWAT. He was an old SWAT, cop, SWAT leader. And he loved his job and just thought there was nothing he could ever do that would impact lives more than that. But then he ended up finding Beachbody, and he's like, he quit because he just was helping so many people more effectively with Beachbody. But he's hilarious. He's super honest. He's like, I hate working out. Who wants to do that? Who wants to torture themselves for 30 minutes and be in pain? Like, I am not that person. but he loves Shakeology, and he has his why. His why is my family and my health, and you know, he rolls with it. He like plays on that, like it's part of his brand, like just funny. And there's this girl, I'm starting to see her video. She's pretty funny. She's like kind of doing some funny like vines about Beachbody coaching. I don't know if you guys seen it, where she like has the spinach and the French fries. Anybody seen that?
No.
It's smart because she's going the opposite direction of like just all the things you don't want anybody to see. And she's just like, when you're a Beachbody coach and somebody catches you, you know, eating fries, and then she's got like spinach in the fries, like tricking, like, oh, she eating some spinach. I'll have to watch it. But I'm not funny enough to pull that off. Like my sister would be perfect at something like that, but I just would look like I'm trying too hard. So, you know, listen to your wheelhouse of humor and reality. But it's going to be hard because you're going to want to make up your mind for a lot of people. But I'm always surprised at what happens. And all you can do is just invite and encourage. And you might be right. It might be tougher, but what I found is finding examples of people like them. So like Chris Reed, or if you ask around in Sparta Nation still is a very effective group for you guys to just ask questions in. Because people have just been doing this forever and are just super analytical and helpful, or like, and they stalk all the coaches that like will hook you up with some coaches that talk about you working out, just so she can feel.
That's
like,
a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Awesome. How about you, Caitlin? I know Caitlin, I remember you signed up coaches pretty quickly when you like first started and all that. So
yeah, it went fast at first. It slowed. The winter was easier while I wasn't working, but now back with full time, it's been tough with all the kids' sports events starting. The older they get, it's harder to find my time, which is why I haven't really been on calls lately.
Yeah.
It's balancing everything too. Got to make sure to take some time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the live events, they're priceless. Like you can't even put a price on them. I have to say Platinum Edge was by far one of the most fun events I've ever been to. And I'm so excited about Summit. I can't even wait. It's going to be a blast. There's something different about the atmosphere. Like you were saying, like when you're with everybody, it's so much fun.
It is. It's a bunch of yous, and you know, Jessica and Aisha, just so you know, so these things sell out quickly. It's like Disney World meets the new release of like Batman or whatever. It's like you have to get the ticket. And so this is something that, because you guys are so engaged and so just like, you know, it's never too early to really get interested in these live events. But Summit, as soon as Summit, like, I'm trying to think, but just pay attention to Summit. Like I kind of look at it like why Summit is so important is not only how fun it is, but like you're a live reporter on the scene. So you get to, like, what we do is we go to Nashville and you get trained by top coaches, like everything that you hear on a national wake up call. And they're very specific. It used to be way more overwhelming, and they can't do that anymore because there's too many people, but there's like a few speeches or talks. And there's so much you can get out of it in terms of like Shailene Johnson talked about relationships and the power of like sex and your marriage and just things you never think you'd be sitting in an auditorium listening to. But it's such a full circle life changing thing, but I'm rambling. But anyway, so you have a specific workout with the trainers that you like see on your TV. So it's just everything to life. But even cooler, like, is like Broadway. If you guys have been in Nashville, Broadway gets shut down and you're working out on like the street with just a bunch of your friends, and it's just wild. And then you just have fun, and then at night you like bond and talk and have drinks and dance, and it's just people like you doing what you would do if you could just all hang out all the time, and you get like 3 special days with it. And, you know, again, the sooner you can create your own, like I show your accountability buddy, Katie, like she's super cute. Mm-hmm. You guys are like buddies, and it's fun doing it together. So you can create that community in your home base. You can create that community online. Like, it's surprising and that's the cool thing is Beachbody is something where you're helping people virtually. So those live events for me have been crucial to connect with the coaches who are, I mean, none of you guys are really like Mandy's down the street, not even down the street. I don't even know where you live, but I get to see this person every now and again. So that's cool. Well, I can send you guys the email of how I'm breaking it down, and I try to find some conversations on how I just like slip it in there, like through a Facebook chat, and I'll email it to you guys since you're on the call. And then if other people want it, then I'll send it to them. Then any last minute questions or anything like that?
Mine was just from when we were kind of talking yesterday, Maria, about hashtags. And I guess just, you have like a chunk, right, that you usually kind of put on there.
Mm-hmm. I have, and does anybody else do this? Is anybody a little Instagram hashtagger?
I was starting to, but I've been like copying yours and copying Dana's and
nice. Good.
See what's there.
Like a good coach, you're supposed to copy all of us for sure, which is the truth. So the advice is like, there's things like I need to send you mine, but I have like active, self-love, health, strength, happiness, entrepreneur, family is everything, health is wealth, work it, dance, sustainable, lifestyle, weekend, colorful food, muscle is sexy. Like I'm sure they're not that original, but so I've pulled up apps where it's like the most popular hashtags. And as soon as I hashtag that stuff, like lots of people flock to it, which is cool, but I know that they're kind of doing the same thing I'm doing. But the more specific you can be, like I was talking to Jessica because she's in Chicago and she's got a lot of Chicago, like just fun stuff that you can do, and you can attract Chicago pride or Cubs fans or things like that. And I think the perfect example, and you guys know this, is Julie loves Disney, and so she has people who love Disney, and so much so that she like turns it into a trip for her coaches. We go to Disneyland, and it's just, and I didn't understand the power of Disney until I went. Now I kind of get it. But that's just something that if there's something near and dear to your heart, like you're obsessed with, that's such a perfect thing to hashtag. So everybody who loves working on cars, I don't know, let's say you're like a cool car girl, they need help with fitness, so it's like, what else? It just forces you to think about, maybe you can like look back. For me, it's tough because I'm so health and fitness, and that's my brand is my personality. Like you kind of lose identity elsewhere. The wedding helped a ton to post about that. But it forces you to just kind of be interesting and dig into your personality and find inspirations elsewhere. Like Marie Forleo is a big person that I love following because she's not every Beachbody coach is following her. Marie Forleo, if you're not familiar with her, but she like goes to Jay-Z concerts because she just likes people that like Jay-Z and had that vibe. And so she's like, I want to work with people that like hip hop. Like, that's just, and mine, I definitely feel that way about dancing. Like if people like to dance, I generally really like them as people, whatever that means. But so to answer your question, just think of things that you would describe yourself as and hashtag it, or something you would involve yourself in and hashtag it. And so what I do is I put them on my notepad on here, and I just copy and paste and put it in my posts. And you can be specific to the post, or you can literally just, right now I'm being lazy and just putting it on everything. And I'm getting some, fakey weirdo likes, but if I was really good, I would get in there and see who's liking. I've been doing this so long, I don't even know who came from what. But they'll comment and they'll like and they'll direct message, and you don't even know where it begins half the time, but people end up following. They don't know where like I don't know when I started following you, but I really like your stuff and let's talk, or all that kind of stuff. And that's something that if you get to a point, for me, I love being an instructor for that reason. And being an instructor is awesome because there is always that live element that you can invite them to. But if instructing isn't something, you can host cooking classes, you can do fit clubs, you could do, or you just all get together and play the workout somewhere, like people who have access to apartment places or schools or churches. Like schools would be, I don't know if you've ever thought about Aisha, but that's an element that they don't talk about as much, fit clubs, but that kind of,
That's a
Was
really
it?
good idea, actually.
oh my gosh, get people together for
Caitlin.
insanity for free. And
That's what I do.
Caitlin's been doing
oh
that.
yeah, Caitlin, you've been doing that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, my the kids at school, I just addressed the principal about it, and they're all about the health awareness right now. And I actually, people can bring their kids, so we have kids sometimes rock it out with us. Nothing more cute than seeing little kids do a burpee. It's so cute, but it's been really fun. It's gotten a lot of traffic, and it's been a blast. They provide a projector. It's huge on the wall and helps keep everybody accountable, keeps everything moving. Really, really fun.
That's so
Do
cool.
you just use your on demand, or do you put in the DVDs actually?
Right now, I've been using my DVDs just because their internet is like hit or miss. So sometimes it's good, other times it's really bad. But I've been using all the DVDs, and I only pick ones that are like cardio based, just so we don't have to deal with the weights, we don't have to deal with all the extra equipment. And then what I'll do sometimes here and there is bring some Energize to sample, see if people want to sample a Shakeology or. It's fun, and it gets people together. People like to just get out, and with being a mom, that is priceless to get out a little bit and enjoy the time.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I've definitely considered that. I mean, I have access to a lot of gymnasiums being in the
schools, right?
district. Yeah. But I personally, I don't have a projector, and I'd have to, make sure that was all set up with, the school.
Yep.
They don't charge you rent or anything, of course.
Nope, and they supply me with everything. And I'll tell you what, I seriously probably debated doing that for like a year, and I did like walking clubs, and we do that instead. But when I asked the school, they were actually more excited about it than I was, because they really want to help promote the health awareness for everybody. And it promotes their school as well too, so that their community is open and they're letting people come in to use the gym. It kind of creates a closer comfort.
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that, and especially, I'll have summer break here. I mean, and taking the kids would be, we're a very small, very tight-knit community, so I think that'd be a great idea.
It helps get the moms out that don't have the daycare, because not everybody's going to be able to have somewhere for the kids to go. And it helps teach the kids, a good base of their health awareness.
Right. And what do you, how often do you do it?
Every Monday.
Okay, once a week. Okay.
Yep. Once a week. And it was so funny because I had one night where my laptop took a crap on me, and it shut down right when I was going to start abs. And I've done these videos so many times. I'm almost embarrassed to admit I had that so memorized, and they're like, "Oh, was that the video?" Yeah. Too much.
Like, kind of know it like the back of my hand. But
it's so addicting. It's something, and Aaron was trying to push me to do this for so long, but I was so afraid to get in front of a group. Like, I like being with a group,
right?
But you still have to lead it, and there's something about being in front that was always super scary to me. I don't want to be judged. I feel like people are watching and criticizing, but no, they don't. They love just being with a group, and they even said tonight, they're like, "Thank you so much for doing this, because it keeps me going." Usually at home when I'm working out, when I get tired, I'm just going to sit down and be like, I'm done. But no, you keep going, and you help keep us pushing and wanting to try harder.
Now, do you give them the option? So, do you just go in and say, okay, what workout do you want to do tonight? Or do you just have it planned out? Do you post on it? Okay, we're doing Insanity tonight.
I post it ahead of time, and I give like a couple options. But tonight I kind of let them all know, hey, we're going to do it a surprise workout. So I brought a bunch with, and I said, all right, do we want to do cardio where you don't stop, or do you want to do cardio with some breaks in between? And then, of course, everybody wants some breaks in between. So we did agility, and the chisel agility. That one was really fun to do. But yeah, it's been 2 months now, and the most people I've had there is about 15 people. So it was exciting.
It's a big group.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Last week I was so sad they had something in the gym and they had to have a break, but they let me move it to Tuesday night instead. So
that's awesome. I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff with this. You can literally, like our Angie's List, there's a corporate wellness girl, and she does like weigh-in Wednesdays, but people like want that free, of course free, but in-person like accountability. You could do anything, like smoothie Sundays, try out, bring a recipe, and let's all like get together. I mean, there's just so many things you can do. But that's awesome, Caitlin.
Well, I'm seriously considering doing a fit club only because, I am going down to Summit, which I'm super excited about, but I won't be able to go down on Wednesday, which is the certification day. And you can get certified in Insanity and I think P90X.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, there are a couple others. But that's just not, I don't necessarily want to do live classes, and be the instructor at this time. I mean, I may later on, who knows, but I just think a fit club would be a great way to just create a community and reach out to those that don't know much about Beachbody products and, be kind of the leading face of it.
Yeah. Looks like Caitlin had concerns and now those have been totally like.
It took me a full year to finally jump, but it was worth it. It's such an adrenaline rush. It's so much fun.
People are going to be so thankful, like just so appreciative. And yes, it helps you get introduced to more people. And then you get to, it's like what that jab, right hook, like you're providing value. You're legitimately helping people make transformations and changes. And yeah, that's awesome.
And that's kind of the favorite part about it is letting people know that, hey, we're doing this just to get out and have fun. Like, I'm not expecting you to buy this. I'm not expecting you to do that. I just want to get out and have a good time. Like, that's what I want the vibe to feel like. Like, taking care of yourself and having time for yourself is fun and is okay. And then they'll take the next step to order where they want to go.
Exactly. And then do you have them all on social media afterwards, or do you have anything where they can just stay in touch with you?
I go back and forth. I've had a couple times where I'll kind of tag everybody who showed up, and they get excited about that. They like that. But then sometimes I go back and forth because maybe some people don't want people to know that they were going to work out. I don't know. I'm kind of still dabbling around with it to kind of see.
You could always, there's this group, this is another thing, they call it, it's actually a thing. What is it called? Oh, something. November Project. Has anybody heard of something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they literally take a picture every morning. It's like 5 a.m. or whatever. They've got like 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. They just like work out on the a monument downtown. And they take a picture every time they do it. And somebody uploads it. And then people just know that they can pose at the end. Like, it's just a thing. Like, if you don't, and I do that with the dances. Like, if you don't want to be in the dance, have an awesome time. You were rock on. I'm going to post it to help you guys practice. So I kind of look at it like that. Like, you can practice. You could even do that where like we'll practice the moves. I'll post it, whatever, a little snippet. Dancing's a little easier to do it that way. But that's always worked for me. If you don't want to be in it, we're going to take it at the end, give them a heads up. That way you're not tricked into it. And you could even have it be a point of where, because they know I'm posting the video, they'll add me on Facebook. So I'm like, find me on Facebook and you can find yourself. And then all of a sudden you get ads because people want to see themselves and check it out.
And that's what I've told people too, is, hey, if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see when our next workout is, and you can actually help pick, And it was funny because the first couple weeks, I got about 5 ads each week of just people who wanted to know when the workout was.
Yeah. That's great. Well, we might need you to do a team call about that because I think that's something that we could all benefit from. Because instructing is awesome, but it's also like it can help and then it can also get in the way because you're promoting something different. So there's two schools of thoughts, but
I feel like I'm way too dingy to instruct. All the cues and knowing what it is, no way.
You never know. This might just be your gateway drug, so we'll see. Very cool. Well, I know it's been an hour. I really appreciate you guys being on. Was this helpful?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So I will email you guys that thing I had, and then Jessica, I'm going to send you my hashtags in a text. I think you can copy and paste that, right?
I think so.
Okay. If not, then I'll
sending them to me too.
Yeah. course.
I'll stop stalking you and I'll just have it.
Talk me. I like it. You know, selfishly, I like it, but cool. Oh, wait. We got to take a picture. You know, because everyone needs to see our team culture. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. One of these days I want to, well, soon, I was like, well, maybe we could play a song and like dance to it and then take a video. So maybe next time, because it's getting late and that could go, I feel like that could take forever, like to get a good take. But anyways. All right, girls. Well, thanks for being on and have an awesome week and let me know if you need anything.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Maria.
Welcome.
Bye.
Bye.